Hey there, fourth graders. Welcome to your read aloud today and welcome to Get Epic. I am coming from Epic for two reasons. Number one, because I've been noticing many of you are hopping on here and taking advantage of what Epic is giving you guys until the end of June, which is fantastic. So keep up the reading. And number two, because I know that Epic has a lot of informational text, and our next unit, when we get back to school, we will be jumping into informational text and getting to understand the way it's written. And also, we will be ending up writing some informational text, which will be fun. So I thought I would get on here and just choose a fun topic to read about, and you can tune into it. So what I decided to find is the platypus, because they are adorable and not many people know much about the platypus. So that's what we're going to read today. So I'm going to read to you Extremely Weird Animals, Platypus. And it's by Christina Reef. And as you can tell from the table of contents, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chapters to read. Plus, we have a glossary, and you have a learn more section, and of course, the index that tells you where to find things in the book. So let's get started. On the hunt. A platypus waddles across the grass in the Australian twilight. Then it glides over rocks and splashes into a shallow, fast-flowing stream. Under the water, it shakes its head back and forth rapidly. This motion helps the platypus search for food in the water. The platypus swims low. It brushes over many rocks at the bottom of the stream. It ducks its bill under the leaves and sticks that line the stream floor. To propel itself forward, the platypus paddles with its large front flippers. Suddenly, the platypus senses a tasty worm with its bill. It dives to the floor of the stream. It disappears in a cloud of sand as it digs for the worm with its bill. When it emerges from the water, the platypus has the worm in its mouth. The hunt was a success, and now it's time to eat. So after reading that section, as a good reader, it's important for us to ask ourselves, what did we learn in that section? What I learned in this section is how a platypus hunts. I learned that the platypus dives into the water. I learned that it goes deep into the water and it goes to like the bottom, the water floor, and it sniffs out or feels with its bill its food. And in this case, the platypus was going to dine on a worm. Once they have found the worm with its bill, it opens its mouth and eats it. So that's what I learned. Let's see what else we learned. Semi-aquatic animals. Well, semi means part. Okay, so that means they're part aquatic animals. So I'm guessing, before I even read this chapter, one thing that it's really good to do as a reader is to predict. And I'm using context clues and my schema, my knowledge, to infer what I'm going to read about. So I'm inferring that I know that semi-aquatic, well, aquatic means water because aqua means water. And semi mean part. So I'm going to say it's a part water, and mammal, I know, is an animal that has fur, right? So I know that this is a part water animal. So I'm assuming I'm going to be learning about that. So let's read to find out if I'm right. The platypus is a small furry mammal. I'll make this bigger. Its head and body usually grows to be around 15 inches, 38 centimeters long, and it weighs about 3 pounds, 1.4 kilograms. This strange-looking creature is often described as a mixture of 3 different animals. Its body looks like an otter's because it has a thick coat of brown fur. The platypus's tail is around 5 inches, 13 centimeters long. It is wide and flat like a beaver's tail. A large bill and webbed feet are the duck-like features of the platypus. Platypuses are stocky animals. They have short legs and broad shoulders. This gives them a slight waddle when they walk. Their body shape and way of walking is similar to many reptiles. When platypuses run, the webbing on their feet retract to expose their nails. These claws dig into the ground to make running easier. Okay, I'm going to pause. Ask myself, what did I learn? Well, I learned on this page that The platypus has 3 features of other animals. First, it has the coat of an otter. Second, it has the tail of a beaver. And third, it has the bill and the webbed feet like a duck. I also learned how this animal walks. I learned that it has these webbed feet to help with its swimming, but when it's on land, it can retract, meaning it can push out its claws so that it can claw on the ground so it can walk easier. There's a little note over here. It says, when Australian scientists first sent a platypus to England, the British scientists thought the animal was a fake because it was so strange looking. Okay, continuing with the semi-aquatic mammals. Platypuses are found on the eastern coast of Australia and a few nearby islands. Environments here range from hot, wet lowlands to cool, high altitudes. Platypuses build burrows by rivers and streams. They also make their homes near lakes and ponds. Most of the time, platypuses live alone. However, several of them may live around the same body of water. Okay, once again, as a good reader, I'm going to stop. Ask myself, what did I learn? Well, on this, I learned where platypuses live. And I know that they live in Australia on the eastern coast. And I also learned that they live near rivers and streams and they create a burrow because that's which would be called their habitat or their house. Continuing on to the next page. Platypuses live close to water because they are semi-aquatic animals. They spend much of their time in the water searching for food. They hunt for insects, worms, shellfish, and other small animals at the bottom of rivers and streams. When they are not swimming, they return to their burrow on land. That's pretty cool. Once again, I asked myself, what did I learn? From there, I learned why they're semi-aquatic because they hunt in the water and then they live on the land. And it says up here, they're always hungry. A platypus spends 12 hours a day searching for food. It stores food in its cheek pouches when underwater. I wonder what animal that sounds like. Continuing on. Platypuses are uniquely adapted for a life in the water. Webbed feet help the platypus swim smoothly. The webbing pushes the water so it can move farther and faster. A platypus's hind feet and tail steer while its front feet paddle. Its thick coat is waterproof, which keeps it warm while swimming. Folds of skin protect a platypus's eyes and ears from water during long dives. Its nostrils also close up. This means the platypus has limited senses when hunting. In order to find food underwater, the platypus uses its soft, flexible bill. This super sensitive feature can feel other living creatures in the water using electrolocation. Animal muscles give off small electric fields that change when the muscles move. Scientists believe that the platypus's bill uses these fields to sense how far away an animal is. The platypus waves its head back and forth to find where the electrical signal is strongest. Once the platypus locates the best signal, it digs in the bottom until it finds a meal. Okay, so I'm going to stop. There was a lot of information. So another thing that we can do as a reader to help us understand is we can break it up into smaller chunks. This page has 3 paragraphs. So if I look at the first paragraph right here, I'm asking myself, well, what did I learn? Well, this one talks about how the platypus swims using its webbed feet. And then as I go on into the next paragraph, it talks about the other features that a platypus has when it dives. It talks about how everything kind of closes off. So his nostrils close off and like his eyes and his ears are protected. And so the only way for him to hunt is to use his bill. And it said his bill was very sensitive. So then the final paragraph, it then goes into more details about how the platypus uses a bill. Initially, when I started reading, I thought the platypus smells things out. But it says here that it has limited senses and it uses its bill with electric fields. So it's feeling like a motion in the water to know if there's something there for him to eat. Also on this page, it says that a platypus is toothless. So adult platypuses don't have teeth. Instead, they have rough pads in their mouth to help them grind down food. They also use gravel to help with grinding. There's another creature that uses gravel. I wonder what that is. All right, next chapter, laying eggs. Platypuses are unusual for more reasons than their strange appearance. Almost all mammals give birth to live young. Platypuses do not. They belong to a special group of mammals called monotremes, which lay eggs instead of giving birth. Platypuses and I don't know how to say that word, so I'm going to click it.
Echidna.
Echidnas. It is a spiny-coated, toothless, burrowing, egg-laying mammal of Australia with a tapering snout and long tongue for eating ants. Oh, and there's a picture right there. I'm going to click it one more time.
Echidna.
Echidna. Okay. Are the only two monotremes in the world. Female platypuses lay between 1 and 3 eggs at a time. Most lay 2 eggs. A female builds a nest inside her burrow for the eggs. First, she uses her sharp claws and powerful legs to dig deeper into the burrow. Next, she gathers wet sticks and leaves. A damp nest keeps the eggs and babies from getting too dry. Right before laying her eggs, the female plugs the entrance so predators in high water cannot get in. Okay, I'm going to pause. What did we learn? Obviously, from the title, we learned this is how they lay eggs. Because platypuses, although they are mammals, they do not have live births, but they lay eggs instead. And so it talks about how she prepares. A female will sometimes dig a tunnel 100 feet long for her eggs. That's crazy. Mom watches the eggs for just over a week. Sometimes she will briefly leave the nest to find food. While in the burrow, she keeps the eggs warm between her belly and her thick tail. Platypus eggs are not fragile like bird eggs. They have soft, leathery shells similar to turtle eggs. When they hatch, the babies are the size of lima beans. It takes them 3 to 4 months to grow, big enough to swim. While the babies are growing, the female makes milk for them. Most mammals have teats that babies suck on to get milk. Monotremes do not. A female platypus oozes milk from glands on each side of her belly. Then the babies suck up the milk for food. How interesting. So on this page, we learned about how the babies are born and also how they eat. Very interesting. Also, I find it interesting that once again, the platypus has a similar feature to another creature of a turtle, saying that their eggs are similar to a turtle. So that's kind of cool. So it says, what's in a name? There is no official name for a baby platypus. Many people call them puggles. Aww. But some people think they should be named platypups. I don't know. What do you guys think? Puggles or platypups? Dangerous creatures. You know, when I think dangerous creatures, I wouldn't think of a platypus as a dangerous creature. So let's read to find out how these creatures are dangerous. Says male platypuses. Ooh, I wonder if it's only related to male platypuses and not females. Male platypuses have small spurs on their hind legs. They look like claws that stick out of their heels. These spurs are full of venom. Platypuses are one of the few venomous mammals in the world. Interesting. Scientists do not fully understand the purpose of these spurs. Animals often develop unique features to help them stay safe from predators or find food. The male platypus's spurs can harm enemies, but scientists believe that is not their main purpose. Male platypuses only produce their venom during mating season. This makes scientists think the spurs are for fighting off other males or protecting females. Very interesting. So they're dangerous because they have venom. Platypus venom is hard to study. Since females do not have spurs, scientists can only study mammals. Okay, so that answers my initial question of does it relate to females? The fact that the venom is only produced during a small part of the year also makes research difficult. Scientists have trouble getting samples to examine. From what has been discovered, they do know that platypus venom has several unique toxins. These are not found in any other animal. Scientists are still learning all the effects these newly discovered toxins can have. Scientists estimate that there are more than 80 different toxins in platypus venom. Many of these are also found in the venom of lizards, snakes, and spiders. By comparing different venoms, scientists know that platypus venom is strong. It would be enough to kill a small dog, though it is not powerful enough to kill a human. It would cause a lot of pain. It seems to me that this platypus is related to many, many animals. It says right here, painkillers offer no relief for people who have experienced the platypus's spur. Only numbing the area can take the pain away. Ouch. All right. Protected by law. Platypuses are fairly common animals and are of least concern. Australia already has laws to protect them. The platypus's biggest threat is habitat loss. Dry weather has made streams and rivers dry up. Sometimes people drain the water for use on farms or in their houses. This also causes river levels to drop. Climate change from human activity affects the platypus's habitats in a different way. It makes tropical storms stronger, so they have more rainfall and forceful winds. This can cause platypus's burrows to flood, which kills many adults and babies. Platypuses also face poor water quality near cities. This comes from pollution. Though platypuses are not yet in danger, humans have to be careful to protect these marvelous, weird creatures. All right, so it's good to know, protected by law, that there's already laws in place to protect them and that they are not on the endangered list and that there's many of them in Australia. So that's pretty awesome. Here is just a little thing that says platypus fact file, and it just gives you some other things. It talks about like how long they live, their habitat, just a quick insight on what they have. Finally, we have our glossary and our index. All right. If you enjoyed learning about the platypus, I encourage you to go and check out some more of these weird creatures. Oh my goodness, there's an elephant seal and an eye. I had never even heard of that. Maybe we'll have to read that another day. A star-nosed mole, that looks interesting. Also, if you want to, you guys can always check out the quizzes. I don't know if we've ever looked at these, but at the end of books, you can say start the quiz and you can take a quiz. So it says, how does the author help you imagine you are there with the platypus on page 4? Well, the author added a video? No. The author uses details to describe the platypus's actions, such as waddles across the grass and paddles with, something. Well, that's the answer. Correct. Extremely weird animals. What is an adaptation that a platypus has to help them survive? They are reptile? No. They're strange looking? Yeah, but it doesn't help them. They have a small bill. Their claws dig in the ground. I think it's that one. All right. So you guys could continue taking the quiz if you would want to. But there is an option. All right. I'm going to sign off for now. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.